Thank you. My name is Najla MOHAMED and I want to thank the World Muslim Congress for organizing this event and for giving us the chance to participate and to show the similarities in the denial of self-determination of the people for Western Sahara as well as for the people from Kashmir. I want to give you a little bit of background information on Western Sahara, if one of you is not aware. Western Sahara is the map in the picture you see over there, and it used to be a Spanish colony since the 1884 when the European countries sliced Africa into pieces and Western Sahara was colonized by Spain. This colonization took part until 1975, and without any legal responsibilities, they passed on Western Sahara to Morocco and abandoned the region, which is until today supposedly under the administration of Spain. But since then, it's occupied by the Moroccans. Western Sahara had the people of Western Sahara and their legal representative, which is a Frente Polisario, started an armed struggle against the occupation of their land. And a war took place for 15 years, from 1975 until 1991. And the Moroccans proposed to the UN to come and organize a referendum and ask the people of Western Sahara what they want. This was a trick to end the war. There was a ceasefire signed, and my people agreed for the ceasefire, and they said, let's organize a referendum and ask the people of Western Sahara what they wanted. It was a trick to end the war, as I have said, and the referendum has not been organized until this day. I remember when I was a young girl, I think I was 4 or 5 years, when I went with my mom, and I went to the UN office in the refugee camps where I lived in southwest Algeria, and we did the registration of who was eligible to vote in this referendum, and we still have those registration lists until today, and we have not been able to exercise this right. The Sahrawi people are not only fighting for the sovereignty of their land, but for this day they are fighting to exercise the right and decide for their own selves what type of country do they want to live in, what type of government should lead them, and unfortunately until today we have not been granted that right. The main sides is the Moroccans. They say we don't want to do this referendum, even though they were the first ones who proposed to have the referendum. But today they say no, we don't want this referendum. The only solution for Western Sahara is either autonomy or integration. The right for self-determination of the Sahrawi people have been granted by the United Nations and by the International Court of Justice as well, and there is no country in the world that recognizes the sovereignty of Morocco over Western Sahara. And in all meetings and General Assembly meetings, they declare that the Western Sahara people must have the right to exercise self-determination. Our battle is a battle of determining our own future, our own land, and to decide what we want. But we are not given this right until today. I live in a refugee camp because my parents had to flee in 1975 from their land when their land was occupied by Morocco. And I lived there all of my life as a refugee until this day. And I am being denied the right to determine where do I live, where do I want to build my house, where do I want my kids to go to school. It's a fundamental right. And without this right, I cannot exercise any other right. So I urge and I speak as all the Sahrawi people all around the world to be granted this right, to be able to vote and decide. But if a regime or an occupying power is denying you the right to determine your own fate and to vote, if they are doing so much work and so much lobbying and so much paying money in Europe, in the European Union, and the United Nations to stop the Sahrawi people from exercising this right, the conclusion is that because they know that the Sahrawi people don't belong to Morocco. They know that the Sahrawi people do not feel identified and do not feel represented by the Moroccans. They want to build their own country that represent their culture and their heritage, their language, and who they are. So that's the battle of the Sahrawi people. And I wanted to share this, and I wanted to share with you the similarities and to wish all of us in the near future that we will be granted our fundamental right for determining our future and the country that we want to live in and how they look like for us and not for an occupying power. I thank you.
Thank you, Naila, for your wonderful contribution. As some of us here, we also have been forced to migrate and to live in refugee camps, and our right to return has been denied by the Indians.